What? The fact that Nigel's back, still vengeful. I really thought I killed him. We all thought he was dead, but turns out he's been alive all this time. Who knows what he's been doing throughout all that time until he finally came to attack us. But I wonder why he's so random. He must have been having his eyes on us for a while. He just chose to act on us now. Maybe. Hey guys, you always seem a bit more awake now. Hey Chipper, so you said you're gonna come up with some sort of strategy to defeat Nigel? Yes. But first I think it's time we look online and see if we can find any articles or information on Nigel. He mentioned having glory days, having a past, a history. And he was part of the Canary Toucan War, so obviously he must have some information there too. There has to be some mention of him in the past. If we learn more about his past, we'll learn more about how to defeat him. I'll see what I can find. You okay? Yeah, my wings are just getting a little sore. It's all from all that flying. So, do we know what's wrong with your wings exactly? I don't know what it is, but ever since that day, I've just had a hard time keeping flying. Like, I'm able to fly, yes, but only to a certain extent before I get unbearably tired. And eventually, my wings hurt so much they might as well be broken. So whatever strategy we come up with to defeat Nigel, we have to make sure it doesn't involve being in the sky, because I'm not sure how long I'll be able to last. Well, we'll figure this out. Right. Found some articles, guys. I think we can gather a bit of information from them. Alright, pull them up, let's see. This one's called The Fall of a Star. So, let's see. So, what does it say? The Fall of a Star. Nigel the Dancing Cockatoo made his mark in history for years. His creative and skillful moves, and even his rugged good looks, made audiences swoon over his performances and kept him as the labeled prettiest bird. But by late 1985, his rise was about to fall as he was deemed too slow to continue his performances. He has since been replaced by a younger and more flexible bird to take over his slot. Since his retirement, he has been seen as more grumpy and almost mentally unstable as the years progressed, and he has been known to participate in deep and even murderous criminal conspiracies. He has slowly made his mark as not a popular performer, but as a murderer. Nigel the Dancing Cockatoo is now deemed Nigel the Killer Cockatoo. If you ever see Nigel, report him to the authorities and don't ever mention being or knowing a pretty bird. That's why he's after me now. He thinks I'm the next person to take over his glory. He's trying to eliminate any bird that he sees above him, that he sees as this article says, the prettiest birds. That's why he always calls you pretty bird. He's after birds who are younger and more flexible than him, because he feels like the world left him behind. Joel, keep digging and see if you can find out who took over his spotlight. Wait, who this younger bird was. I'll see what I can find. When did he kill your children?
Only a few years ago, 2005.
Like I said, he posed as our friend, he took us in, and then killed our kids the next morning. He must have thought of us as the next run-ins for future performers, so he silenced any chances of us having that glory. We didn't even want that. All we wanted was refuge. We had nowhere to go, we were lost, and we thought he was here to help, but he wasn't. Okay, so he's also manipulated and tricked other birds into thinking he was helping them. So we know his tactics. We know how he goes about murdering birds. But we need to understand what made him murderous. Okay, I didn't find out what bird replaced him, but I did find something else. I found an article about the Canary Toucan War. Okay, let's see if this one has any of the answers we seek. Legends spotted in brutal war zone. Recent reports have uncovered old photos from the early stages of the bitter Canary Toucan Civil War in 1967. These hidden photos confirm that Nigel the Dancing Cockatoo did in fact play a murderous role in this war in his teen years and in his days before performing. While it was never confirmed whether he was drafted to assist or if it was voluntary, Nigel, being on the more murderous and vengeful side of it, has the reporters firmly believing that he intentionally joined the war to make a name for himself. Meanwhile, others believe that he was blackmailed or threatened to join and he was exposed to and forced to murder rather than choosing it. It is unclear what his true reasoning was. However, it is safe to assume that Nigel's descent into madness was empowered by whatever role he played in this war. Jewel. This is an amazing find. While we may not have been able to find out who replaced him, we now know what sparked his murderous tendencies. He must have been exposed to dangerous and brutal things during the Canary Tucon War. He must have been drafted, or maybe it was intentional, but either way, I doubt he was a murderer before joining that war. So what, you think he was one of those villains that are sympathetic in their early days? Come off it, Chipper. He killed many people, and our children, don't forget. Yeah, you remind me every second. Anyways, that's not my point, Blue. Whether he's redeemable or not, whether he had a sympathetic backstory, that doesn't justify what he did, or what he's doing now. You had to put him down, and it doesn't matter. We're not going to talk him down. I tried that, and that failed. As I kind of knew it would. But it doesn't mean we can't stop him at all. Blue, Jewel, sit up against this trunk. I have a proposal to make. No, I'm not marrying you. I was kidding, Jewel, obviously. I joke when I'm nervous. So what's the plan, Chip? Are we just going to ambush him? No. We tried fighting him on the ground, and that failed. He had a few aces up his arsenal. So we need to come up with a way where we ourselves have an advantage over him. And the only advantage we'll have over him is if there's no way he can dodge our attacks. So what better way than fighting him in the sky? Chip, I don't like that idea, okay? I told you, I don't want to fly again. Blue, it's okay. Chip knows what he's doing. This isn't about that. It's just, I've never been a good flyer, Jewel, you know that. You flew fine when we escaped that exploding building. That was different. My wings weren't as endangered to breaking back then, but the dampness from the water at that disco place is getting really bad. Because of that, I think I'll kill myself if we do this plan. And I want to put down Nigel as much as the next guy, especially after everything he's done. But I'm not going to do it if it risks myself. Blue, you've always been strong, but this has always put you down for years. When we first met, I remember you couldn't fly at all, but when it mattered most, you did. The moment you threw Nigel into that jet turbine, you flew me out of that plane. Remember, it was airborne. You two were fighting, and you accidentally got the plane airborne. And when that happened, you pushed him out the window, threw him into the jet turbine, and you knew the plane was going to crash, so the moment that seemed most desperate, you launched me out of that window, and you flew. Blue, you flew! I know, but my wings weren't damp. There's a difference between damp, weak wings and regular weak wings. My regular weak wings, in a matter of moments, yes, I could fly. But them being damp and also being weak, I might as well be paralyzed. Blue, I'm so sorry, but this is the only compromise I could see that won't involve us getting killed. If all else fails, though, and you feel like your wings are weighing you down too much, we'll fly at least over a surface where you can quickly get to the ground. Okay? Alright. But there's still one more thing. Yeah. How are we going to land hits on Nigel when he's faster than us? Simple. We'll just have him talk about himself. We'll keep reminding him of things of his past from the things we've learned. And it'll get him to want to talk about himself. And the more we do that, the more hits will land on him. And eventually, we'll end up defeating him. Nigel has hurt enough birds. He thinks the world left him behind. He has no idea how wrong he is. He's still famous, but he's famous for being a murderer, not a performer. That is the biggest mistake of his life. And that mistake is going to get him killed. And we are the ones who are going to show him that mistake. So I say tomorrow morning we start going to fly. We're going to keep flying up till we draw his attention. And we don't stop until there's nothing for him to dodge our attacks with. No buildings, no trees, just pure sky and clouds. That's actually a really good plan, Chip. You must have been a really good strategist in your early days. Yeah, I was. Alright, guys, let's get some sleep, and then we attack. This world will pay for leaving me behind. And now, so will this Chipper. He thinks he has the goods to become the best. He has no idea who he's messing with.